He's the reason why Hail to the Chief is played every time the president comes into a room. He was 5'8", but a lot of times he'd come into the room and nobody would notice he was there. And so his wife Sarah got the idea that maybe they should play Hail to the Chief every time he comes into the room. That way everybody would stop and notice he came in. It stuck.
He essentially grew the nation geographically by about a third. He believed in serving one term. He felt he accomplished all of his goals, and he left to go back home.
Polk Place was a house he bought while he was president, but he really never got to live there very long because he came down with cholera, and he died just 3 months after leaving office.
He was buried in a common grave because back then people believed that cholera could be caught even from the deceased.
And about a year later, they finally moved him into a crypt on Polk Place. When the original tomb was set, it said 10th President of the United States. Polk wasn't the 10th President of the United States. He was actually the 11th President of the United States.
Polk's place was supposed to have gone to the government. It was clear in his will that he did not want that home destroyed.
The city decided to sell it and bulldoze it instead, so he got moved over to the Capitol grounds, where he's remained till today. One of the good things about moving the tomb was that they got to correct it. So now it just says President of the United States, which will always be correct. Because he was moved not just once, but twice, definitely would cause him to become restless. A disturbed grave always seems to dig up ghosts.
People have claimed to have seen a man in a dark suit kind of kneeling here at the base of the tomb.
Before I had ever been to Polk's tomb, I really didn't believe in ghosts. The first time I had that experience, I had 12 people or so with me, and I look over to my right, and there's this kind of dark, shadowy figure, like a man's shape. As I got closer and closer, it became more and more clear that it was real, that it was somebody there. You certainly kind of feel your adrenaline go, and you get the little beads of sweat and all that stuff. The tour group was all kind of looking to me. They knew I was a little freaked out about it, because I was like, are you guys seeing what's over here? And as we started getting up closer, the image of that man, he just started to evaporate, almost like a mirage or something. He just kind of disappeared. You can cut the tension with a knife when it's like that. I believe that that's President Polk himself. It makes the most sense to me that that would be him. He was originally buried in a common grave, moved to Polk's place, then moved to the Capitol. Not really treated with a whole lot of respect.
When those kind of things happen, people come back. They get upset. I was at Polk's tomb, just kind of taking pictures, and it wasn't until I got home and kind of blew the pictures up on my computer, and I was like, what's that near the tree? And I kind of moved in closer, and I'm like, wow, that looks like a face. And looking at the picture, you kind of see the high forehead and the deep-set eyes, and you kind of think, that could definitely be President Polk. I don't think Polk was able to let go after he passed on.
One of the best pictures I've ever seen has this just really bright streak of light. It looks like it's almost kind of shooting straight in front of the tomb. And there aren't cars passing on the street. There's no explanation as to where that came from. And I've seen hundreds of these over the years. People email them into me. It only happens in that small space. It's not like we'll get these pictures all, anywhere else. It's this one specific area at that tomb. I've really come to believe that when we find these great streaks of light and orbs, I think we're kind of picking up the energy of his ghost or spirit.
Sometimes when we're walking away from the tomb, people will kind of look behind them, and they'll tell me they thought they heard footsteps behind them, and there's nobody there. Capitol grounds is very creepy, and I'm a big chicken. So I can go there when I have a lot of people around me, but when it's late at night and I'm walking back to my car, I wouldn't go up there if you paid me to. I'll feel eyes watching me as I'm walking back to my car, and you kind of know it's not like a mugger or something. It's coming from the Capitol grounds, and I've learned I don't look. I don't want to know. You don't look, you can't see what's scaring you.